gold seatbelt buckles, a booming sound system, and cream leather seats. Donald Trump shows off his campaign's secret weapon and takes dailymail.com inside his refurbished Trump Force One. Ask Donald Trump what his favorite feature is on his refurbished private jet, and his answer is the lightning-fast satellite internet connection. Next is the sound system. What's your favorite music? Elton John, James Brown. He says, directing an aide to find a video from the new entertainment system. There's a version of James Brown and Pavarotti singing together. It's incredible. He points out the speakers that run down either side of the cabin in his modified 757. It's a brand new sound system, he says. The latest. It will get better with time. See all the speakers. All those speakers are amazing, truly surround sound. The music will wait. Trump is on a roll. Describing to dailymail.com the finishes on Trump Force One, the private jet he has used to travel the country since 2010. While he is keen to bash his rival Ron DeSantis or rail against the Manhattan district attorney investigating his business records, his face fairly lights up when he has a chance to discuss the new features on his plane. On Saturday, he flew to Waco, Texas, for his first rally of the 2024 campaign, and dailymail.com was given special access to see the bedroom and stateroom where the former president relaxes. But for much of the return journey to West Palm Beach, the former president held court at a table in the main cabin. Behind him, aides tucked into McDonald's burgers, while a new animation featuring Trump's family coat of arms played on a screen that took up an entire wall. His 757-200 has been back in service since late last year, when it completed an overhaul. The result, he says, is a plane that puts Air Force One, his ride when he was in office, to shame. Trump is unusually coy about the cost, saying it would be wrong to boast about the money he spent when so many people were struggling financially. A lot of money is all he will say. These finishes are expensive. The fittings, including air vents and seatbelt buckles, gleam. They are made from 24-karat gold. Cream leather covers the seats and rolls across the ceiling, complemented, he says, by velvet that runs up the walls. The floor is the same color, so it is a good job that the plane is dry. A spilled glass of red wine would ruin the look forever. This table folds, he says, demonstrating the flaps that lift up, making it easier for passengers to slip in and out seats. At his elbow is not just his regular Diet Coke, but a tiny panel from which he can control the entertainment system. The outside has a slightly new look, too, while the black, red and white paint job is the unchanged, with Trump written in gold lettering. The tail has a new design. Gone is the giant T, replaced with a fluttering stars and stripes. It is all part of Trump's campaign show. The arrival of the 757 on Saturday evening at Waco Airport brought a waiting crowd to fever pitch. One of the advantages of having your own private jet. Part taxi, part rally backdrop, part aspirational symbol. Well, it's certainly convenient, said Trump. And I think it makes an impression because it's just a great aeroplane. The 757 was always considered the best looking of all of the commercial planes. You know, it sits up high. It's like a praying mantis. And I think it's helpful in a lot of ways. We can travel with a lot of people. But I think more importantly, it makes a fantastic impression on people. Because we're gonna make our country great. And you'd like to show equipment that's great. It's all part of everything. The standard 757-200 has about 228 seats. Trump's version features 43 seats plus a bedroom, guest suite, stateroom, conference area, and custom galley. He bought it in 2010 from Microsoft founder Paul Allen. It was a key part of his 2016 campaign when it added to the sense of spectacle he brought to national politics. But it was mothballed during his time in the White House. 2 years ago, it was spotted as New York's Stewart Airport, mechanically grounded with one of its engines shrouded in shrink wrap and in need of repair or replacement. But it returned into service last year, after a thorough makeover and a paint job in Mississippi. It was first seen at a November rally just before the midterms, and now he says it lacks nothing that Air Force One, a fleet of modified 747s that have been in service for decades, and are that is due to be replaced, has. You look at the cockpit. There's nothing in the cockpit that this one doesn't have. I said just put the best, he says. They brought the engines 2 to 0 time like a brand new engine. Rolls-Royce does it. Just like on Air Force One, he is able to travel with journalists who can document his campaign. They are assigned to seats at the rear of the plane, brought forward when he is ready to chat. And his arrival on Saturday morning at West Palm Beach International Airport, choreographed by his Secret Service detail, also bore the hallmarks of a White House travel movement up to a point. His motorcade pulled up to the rear steps of the plane, an agent standing guard at the SUV's door until Trump emerged, in navy suit and open-necked shirt. He acknowledged the 5 members of the press traveling with him with a half-raised hand and mouth. "Thank you," as he climbed the steps. Inside, he made straight for the main cabin, where the flat-screen TV was tuned to the rally in Waco. Ted Nugent was ringing an extravagant star-spangled banner from his guitar, as Trump greeted his aides already aboard his dual campaign managers, Susie Wiles and Chris Lasavita, longtime advisor Jason Miller, and political director Brian Jack, Stephen Chung, who handles communications, Boris Epstein, his counsel, and Dan Scavino, who runs social media just as he did in the White House, were also in the traveling party, and a reminder that several had been with him since his first run in 2016. 10 hours later, he has delivered a 90-minute speech to supporters in Waco, and the plane is descending back into West Palm Beach. Finally, he gets the music he asked for. The plane lands to the sound of the tenor voice of Pavarotti booming through the cabin,